Okay, so here we are in the postseason. Uh, Creek just defeated Monroe, and Miamisburg defeated Fairmont. Two of my predictions right there came true, and those two will be meeting each other on Monday in Xenia. I have a lot of thoughts about this, though. This is a game that's going to go either way. Okay, in my prediction, I did say that Creek would win, but my predictions are based off of if the teams are playing at their full potential. That's why some of my predictions didn't come true, because some of those games, they had some bad games, and this is a terrible time to have a bad game, in a tournament game, especially against a team that's, a decent team. Here's my thoughts, okay? Creek is a solid team. They're very disruptive. They're very active. They have a team full of players who never stop moving. They have a guy, one of their forwards is a really good scorer. He has a knack for getting you a goal when you desperately need a goal. But here's the problem. We're not scoring as much as we need to. And that's been the biggest problem all season long, honestly. We're not getting as many goals as we should. And the more I've watched Creek boys soccer this season, the more it became more clear. Your forwards are often isolated. I mean, it takes extra effort to get them the ball a lot of times. And I think that one way you can fix that problem is to build up better on your attacks. Like I said, you can start to build up in the midfield. You have to have a center mid out there who can orchestrate the offense, that knows when to speed up the attack or when to slow it down and hold and wait for everybody to build up and get into position. And that's one thing that we have not been doing this season, and it's kind of hurting us. Even in the games where we win, to be honest with you, you should have beaten Elder, and you should have stomped Fairmont, honestly. Monroe shouldn't have been a problem. These are teams that I believe that you are much better than as far as skill goes, as far as technique goes, and even some areas on the field and athleticism. These are teams that you should be squashing, okay? So I believe that it's a matter of bringing in more numbers on the attack. Almost every time up the field, sometimes the pacing is a little weird too. It's like slow down, speed up, or speed up, slow down, speed up. It gets a little confusing. And that's why I think some of your passes are a lot of times off the mark. They're not as accurate as they should be, because you're all still trying to figure out, what kind of pace are we moving at? Should I make this run now, or should I just kind of wait? And I kind of see that hesitation sometimes. So against Miamisburg, the way that you played against Monroe isn't going to cut it. I'm going to be completely honest with you. They have a goalkeeper who you're going to have to put in extra work to get a goal on. And most of you know this already. He's fantastic. And they do just enough to bother you. You hear what I'm saying? So you're going to have to get some numbers up on these attacks to relieve some pressure off of Max or Tyler or whoever's up there, Nate. You guys are going to have to step together and play as a unit. As I mean as a unit. Your midfielders and your forwards can't have these huge gaps between them. That can't keep happening. Your midfielders can't keep hanging back. That can't keep happening. You guys have to step together. I promise you that it will make your offense so much more better, and it'll have so much more flow to it, because I can see the glimpses of it. It's there. You have Josiah and Ryan back there who can make really good runs when the opportunity is there, and oftentimes it is there. You can build up in the backfield if you want to. That's another thing that I think that you can do creatively with this group, because you have defenders who are very good ball handlers. Carson and Joey, they're very good at stepping in and cleaning things up. Like, you have a solid defense to the point where your midfielders, they can play a little bit more loosely and trust your defenders. And not to mention, you have a phenomenal goalkeeper back there. Everybody makes mistakes back there. I mean, this is high school soccer. I mean, nobody's expecting, a perfect game, perfect performance each and every time. But the fact is, I think you guys have a lot of weapons that you kind of haven't figured out how to utilize this season. It's a little late, to be trying new things, but just moving forward, if you're going to beat Miamisburg, if you're going to beat the winner between Elder and Mason, you're going to have more scoring. You're going to have more scoring options. It's going to have to be there. It can't just be Max or just be Tyler or just be Connor, just be whoever. That's Josiah. It doesn't matter. Charlie, Will, it doesn't matter, honestly. You're going to have to step together. You're going to have to become a real threat each and every time that you enter into about the what would be the 30-yard line. You're going to have to be a real threat out there from now on, because it can't just be one or two players making a run at a time. That's not going to cut it, especially against like Mason. That's not going to cut it, so it's going to come down to this. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. This game against Miamisburg could very well go into a shootout. It could go into a double overtime and into a shootout, but I'm hoping that's not the case. I hate when that happens. Y'all remember last season? It kept happening with the guys and the girls, and that was just, that's awful. That's an awful feeling as a spectator. I'm just saying. And I remember the guys losing. Who was that to? Was it Saint X last year that we lost to like that? Yeah. We don't want that to happen again. So, especially in a game like this, no offense to Miamisburg. Miamisburg has some very solid players. They really do. It's just that all around, I think Creek has the more solid all-around team. It's just the fact that you guys are not utilizing the weapons that you have. You have a team that is full of capable scorers, full of them. But you only get like 1 or 2 goals a game. That kind of has to stop, man. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be a tough game, man. And of course, me being a Beaver Creek supporter, I wish you guys the best. I'll keep it realistic. I'm not going to be the one to be like, oh, man, my Beaver Creek teams, the guys and the girls, man, they're going to go through. They're going to win it all. I'm not stupid, man. I know that's not going to be the case. I would love for it to. I would love for that to happen. I'm hoping for it. But, I'm realistic. This is a scary, scary season. Like, there's some strong, strong teams out here. So, moving forward, though, I wish you guys the best. I'm liking this season, man. I really like this group, with the guys and the girls. I really enjoy watching y'all play, man. And for you seniors, man, I'm going to miss y'all next season, man. I really am. Some of y'all going to college and all of that. I'm still going to be keeping up with you. Some of you I'll be popping in on every once in a while. You can ask your older players that have already graduated and playing in college. I pop in on them every once in a while, So I guess we'll see what happens Monday with this game. But like I said, man, you guys are going to have to build up better on your attacks. If there's not numbers up, then I suggest holding and waiting for people to get up and get into position and not try to attack 1-on-3 head on, 1-on-4 head on, 2-on-4. I just don't really see that happening for you, especially not in this game. So, build up better on them attacks and get some more offense going. That's honestly my greatest advice in this match coming up. You are going to need to score.